Thank God! Down there in one of those catacombs. And this other guy, what they look like, I don't know! This don't make no sense to everybody.
GoldenDebateshow.com, the Golden Debate Show. Crippy's by himself today. Maybe I'll get myself in trouble.
Warning.
Or get myself out of trouble. Let's keep it golden though. GoldenDebateshow.com, baby, Golden Show.
Only has exactly the possibility.
My brain for 5 seconds. Like, dude, get it. Or my best picture 20.
Golden Debate Show number 10. It's your boy Crippy. I'm all by myself today, so let's get into it. The biggest distraction in the world of sports has just had their draft, and they've also now NBA playoffs.
Warning.
I think
But why am I going to wait? Let's get into clips and hum vamps. You know how we do Golden Show. GoldenDebateshow.com. Holla at your boy now.
She's been in constant trouble with the law, but what's different about her and other childhood stars is that she's facing this alone.
News.
We never see her out with people.
Binds fall from Hollywood Grace is even heating up the mommy blogs, with one person saying
No
it's a
answer,
shame
no.
because she's so talented and funny. Others just calling it sad.
For years, Amanda had been this sweet, innocent star, someone you laughed at, someone you took your daughter to see your movies.
Someone you laughed at. I also seen this in the news.
Major thoroughfare in America.
Check and watch for the vamps and use gold to shine on the vampires.
The fast food mega franchise known for its iconic talking chihuahua commercials and forays into dishes as daring as they are delectable. In a country fueled by fast food reimaginations,
yummy. Is it even really food or meat?
It's a first-hand look at an American company causing quite a stir.
They could be screaming for a boy band, but instead, of all things, a
tacos!
Each new menu item now comes with a side of social media marketing, using sites like Facebook and Twitter to create a buzz. When the tiny town of Bethel, Alaska was tricked into thinking Taco Bell would finally open up there, just so the town wouldn't be disappointed, Taco Bell flew in a truck of tacos.
No way, not a truck of the tacos. While all this is going on, there's also types of reforms and all types of other things. So, let's check this out as well as we did a...
Tell us as parents, as a grandfather of 16, tell us what or tell Mr. and Mrs.
I really fucked up that one up
to you.
Somehow misplaced clip one. We'll still keep it moving.
Talking to a parent, I would say,
talk on.
they're going to listen to what your message is.
Go to the debate show number 10.
As a parent, your message needs to be that you need to talk to them about drugs, and what you can do is you can tell them marijuana is the most prevalent drug that teens use.
Prevalent, and I found clip one. I got it.
Maybe I got another study that I'm so concerned about is a marijuana user that starts at about age 13. By the time that they're, I think, in their 20s, they've been testing to show about an 8%.
How much pot have you been smoking, Chickie? Now check it out. I'm gonna hit you with clip one. That I was gonna.
Has shown its
supposed to play first. Yeah, I'm still.
Be glad to give you that one.
Guaranteed.
Shit, maybe the fans survive,
man. That in a state that legalizes marijuana, Washington State, Colorado, some of that marijuana will be supplied by Mexican drug cartels when that time comes.
He's a jackass.
Well, a lot will depend on what the different states' law says, but
it's supposed to be state law, not federal law.
Okay, we see an influence of Mexican marijuana, especially out west with the dispensaries. we
pretty much that good sesame milk.
Experiment with this. We don't need to experiment with it. We know what happened with medical marijuana in these states. Use grew. Use grew overnight.
GoldenDebateshow.com. GoldenDebateshow 10. Let's do it.
Overnight. Dispensaries, more dispensaries than Starbucks, and it has gotten to the point so out of hand that cities and municipalities
so out of hand that the people wanted to vote for it, that it's out of hand.
Are banning dispensaries in coming to their areas because they saw what happened. They saw the influence, more crime in that area. Face it, do a little surveillance like we do on some of these dispensaries, and you'll see that the primary patients of the dispensary are males from, age of 18 to 26, and there's a lot of
both sound like a son of a bitch. Let's keep getting it.
We are concerned about some figures from Colorado experiment. We already saw medical Netherlands as a perfect example became legal there. The increases in car accidents and fatal car accidents. I've got some figures I could give you on that.
There will be an increase in car accidents and fatal car accidents.
Increase in car accidents is got to be a major concern. In fact, a driver who has used marijuana is twice as likely to have a crash than someone that didn't. There are a lot of statistics out there because
like alcohol ain't the worst thing ever.
And the science in your cup tells us that marijuana belongs in Schedule 1 because it's high potential for abuse. More teens enter drug treatment for marijuana addiction than other illegal drugs and alcohol.
It's a sham actor, so we might as well have golden fun with it, right?
Some of the marijuana in cases like that, but where it's legalized, will be.
By the way, these vampires that are doing this, they sound pretty big to me too.
Pretty heinous crimes, whereby people's lives taken will ultimately be involved. The other question that I want to ask you then, if you could just
I'm looking at things too deep. I don't think I look at this shit deep enough, and I don't think you do either. Let's keep it golden.
Is here. If you would tell what you would say to a mom or dad, or maybe
about shutting a human down in their free will,
or a member of Congress. Warning. What is the problem with marijuana? If they were to say to you, Administrator, there's really not a problem, they've just legalized it in Colorado.
There's been no recognized medical use and treatment in the U.S., and that's been determined by the FDA on these on research that's been done, and there's a lack of accepted safety protocols for use of the drug, even under medical supervision. The reason why we're worried about this with young people is there's also a connection between schizophrenia, psychosis, and it's the young marijuana user. They have studies now. We didn't have these studies 10 years ago, but they have studies. They looked at the science, and this is a dangerous drug. And the message that the kids are going to get in social media, the message that kids are going to get on television, on the radio, in their songs, with their peers, is that it's a harmless drug. So as parents, the parents need to say, here are the facts, or here's where you can go to get the facts.
Is it a gateway drug? Or a connection between using
Golden Debate Show number 10.
There's absolutely a connection between marijuana use, especially early marijuana use. Now they even see a connection between marijuana use and the likelihood of a kid being addicted to tobacco. But they also will show these connections between drug use that starts early with marijuana and the moving on to the
Dr. Harris is right. I think the Attorney General, and the Attorney General is coming up next week, and a doctor with your, you might ask him, or if you don't ask him, I'll ask him. I think the Attorney General is really going to have to speak out on this. He cannot pull a punch's pilot, and wash his hands.
A punchity pilot? Sure, throw that meme in there for no fucking reason.
Words in the administrator's mouth. She said this is a dangerous drug.
Liquid gold.
But it's also an illegal drug.
Jobs, and jobs.
Let's vote for jobs, everybody!
He's a jackass.
Warning.
I think this has been an insightful hearing today.
Yeah.
And I will say, the Attorney General is aware of that. We have been able to give input on the concerns we have, and he is looking at it. He's studying it. He's looking at those legal. The DEA isn't going to look at the legal implications there, but he
doing
is.
what we do, doing how we got to do it.
They're doing
handling and whatnot.
At it.
Yeah, sure.
Both states, what they passed are very different. They're taking the time to look at it and then figure out a way forward.
It really may be part of the president.
No agenda boards, let's do it.
Use marijuana
Help debate with me.
is twice as likely to have a crash than someone that didn't.
Oh, this is a statistic. It depends if he's in reverse, which is what most people on me do. I can back it up on the way home. Watch.
There are a lot of statistics out there because people have looked at the science, and the science tells us that marijuana belongs in Schedule 1 because it's high potential.
Two different stories.
Yo. Born to be the baddest. LA Simphons had it locked since Adam.
Liquid gold.
There's other guys, but they look like bounce right up and drop.
Liquid gold.
Jobs, and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
Go, debate show number 10, earlymorningmouth.com, Golden.
Hammering these guys on this, at least for now. So I suppose that.
You know what? Now I didn't read this story. Can you explain exactly what
CISPA does this. They say, okay,
Down in one of those catacombs. There's other guys, but it looks like, I don't know. This don't make no sense to everybody.
I'd like to have all of Jimmy Dore's private information. Okay? Yeah, and without a warrant. So I got no reason to believe Jimmy Dore's a bad guy, except every once in a while he criticizes us on the
Golden Debate Show number 2. Ha, haters. Hey, Rod's boosting the belt. Go to this somewhere. I'm on you, Vamps!
I mean, every single time I saw him, he'd make sure to say hi. He was very calm, relaxed all the time.
For people who knew him, there were no warning signs. Andrew describes an average college sophomore who played intramural soccer, enjoyed FIFA soccer video games, and smoked a lot of marijuana.
What?
Probably every day.
But you said this year you didn't see him smoking pot as much.
I think he told me from one of our conversations, he's like, oh, I don't smoke anymore.
Down in one of those catacombs. There's other guys, but they look like, I don't know. This don't make no sense to everybody.
Warning.
Jobs, jobs, and jobs. Let's vote for jobs.
Distraction of the week. Hey.
Down there's one of those catacombs. There's other guys that it looks like. I don't know. This don't make no sense to everybody.
Let's keep hunting on. Golden Debate Show 10.
Warning.
Liquid gold.
There's other guys that it looks like. I don't know. This don't make no sense to everybody.
They used an Al-Qaeda internet description of how to make a pressure cooker bomb. Seth Jones, a counter-terror expert at the Rand Corporation, has analyzed the marathon attack and how it was pulled off.
They ad-libbed part of it and made some decisions on a few elements of the bomb making. But what's different about this is they took a very simple recipe and then targeted the Boston Marathon.
And why the marathon? Because officials say it was there, essentially, and easy, not long in the planning either.
It does appear, though, that the younger brother had not become involved until later in the process, perhaps a week or so before the actual attack.
Jones says the brothers seem to have been inspired by the internet preachings
and learning how to build the bombs,
charismatic American born.
Really virulent ideology.
Hi, citizens!
Islam is relatively common, and I think magazines put out by organizations like Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, a magazine known as Inspire, and other places that you can learn to make these bombs. This really is the path that many homegrown extremists have taken, and unfortunately we've seen it again, I would guess.
And Joy, today the other motivational element added to the mix was the American invasion of Afghanistan and then Iraq.
Right, and we also learned that the older brother was a devotee of the Alex Jones website and conspiracy theory info.
Oh no, it's not the Golden Debater, Golden Jones.
Increasing religiosity, but also buying into a lot of conspiracy theories, 9/11 trutherism apparently.
Don't ever have an opinion or an open mind, no. No, that's not America.
Terrorists overseas or terror organizations overseas, it's also conspiracy theorizing right here.
But this is more saddening. Now listen to this clip.
Children and running after spending the night hunkering in their houses and then finding themselves face to face with the muzzle of a SWAT officer's rifle.
It's a little stressful. It was a little stressful seeing these guys
pointing
these guns and your daughter in arms, but they're doing the right thing. They're trying to secure the neighborhood.
Each time the SWAT team would rescue a family at the point of a gun, they would rush into the home in an armored line, guns at the ready, in case the suspect was hiding inside. And each time they cleared out a resident, they did it with a force that reflected the uncertainty of knowing who was a friend and who was a foe.
Bullshit. I do want to get right to the news.
Listen, it is the Empire.
For so many Americans, the terrorism in Boston.
Yeah.
Many people have wondered if it took you right back to 9/11 when you heard it.
Well, at first, I was deeply concerned that
Golden Debate Show 10.
There might have been a organized plot. I don't know all the facts. I don't think we all know all the facts, but I was deeply concerned that this could have been.
Check it. Wait.
Another
take out
conspiracy organized attack on the country, and it still may be.
Is there anything on the videotape that maybe the public hasn't seen about his reaction that was particularly telling that move the investigation along?
Well, I don't gotta believe it. I mean, I don't believe all of it either, but I just want to know everything, man.
In my briefings.
So this guy sent everybody in, but he didn't see the video.
To be pretty clear,
but originally he did.
Warning.
This suspect took the backpack off, put it down,
did not react when the first explosion went off, and then moved away from the backpack in time for the second explosion. So pretty clear
This is the end,
about
my friend.
his involvement.
It's a roller coaster ride to hell.
We
are here shooting, sadly, the final season.
That's right.
We're shooting a pretty wild scene between him and I, and
you're gonna love it.
As you can see, we're in the White House. Not the White House, but a White House.
And action.
Breaking Bad, the season finale is going to be so
now check
incredible.
This.
Yes. Twists and turns, a lot of cliffhangers. You're not going to want to miss
24 hours ago, Paul Kevin Curtis stood accused of sending poisoned letters to President Obama and U.S. Senator Roger Wicker. But this morning, the Elvis impersonator from Mississippi is a free man.
I would like to move on with my life and find out what normal is again.
Curtis was released after investigators said searches of his home and car turned up no traces of ricin or the ingredients needed to make it.
When you've been charged with something and you've never heard of ricin or whatever, I thought they said rice, so I said I don't even eat rice.
Officials arrested Curtis last week after discovering he had written Senator Wicker before.
I can't even keep a straight face on that one.
Illegal substance that cannot be purchased, and if it's injected in your bloodstream, it could most certainly kill you.
So what ricin does is it kills your body's ability to make protein. And the protein, it's just think of it like chemotherapy or radiation. The first things that people get are nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea.
The symptoms and even death can occur within 36 to 72 hours of exposure, depending on the manner in which it was administered. However, Dr. Sean Nort, Director of Toxicology at USC's Department of Emergency Medicine, says inhaling, swallowing, or having contact with ricin powder isn't necessarily fatal. While there is no antidote for the poison, mild cases of ricin exposure can be treated.
I have two words for you.
I send my deepest condolence to the victims and families in Boston. President Obama said that what happened in Boston was an act of
We got some nerve here, boy.
I would like to
asking
ask,
a free will question.
Do you consider the U.S. bombing on civilians in Afghanistan earlier this month that left 11 children and a woman killed a form of terrorism? Why or why not?
Well, I would have to know more about the incident, and obviously the Department of Defense would have answers to your questions on this matter. We have more than 60,000 U.S. troops involved in a war in Afghanistan, a war that began when the United States was attacked, in an attack that was organized on the soil of Afghanistan by Al-Qaeda, by Osama bin Laden and others.
I have two words for you.
3,000 people were killed in that attack. And it has been the president's
You will never see it coming.
Once he took office, to make clear what our goals are in Afghanistan, and that is to disrupt, dismantle, and ultimately defeat Al-Qaeda. And with that as our objective, to provide enough assistance to Afghan national security forces and the Afghan government to allow them to take over security for themselves. And that process is underway, and the United States has drawn a substantial number of troops in the process of drawing down further as we hand over security lead to Afghan forces. And it is certainly the case, but I refer you to the Defense Department for details, that we take great care in the prosecution of this.
Ooh, push that work off on someone else.
And we are very mindful of what our objective is.
Liquid gold.
Golden Debate Show number 10. Thanks for coming out, Golden Universe. We got like 6 minutes strong. Let's go. Golden!
Guess who's back and I'm looking for a snack. No factor, chiropractor. The way I smack these rappers right back in position. Listen, this is how a real man spittin', but y'all don't want that real shit. You like that plastic. Y'all like your rappers so fake like a bit. Off of the pen. This is off the dome scribing. Doctor said that the ink block keep on riding. Off my flow, there's no pattern, it's all schizo. My flow stuck, must be pyro. Cause I'm blowing on this damn infomaniac. I need the information, just get time to count over. Yeah, it's golden skulls, written down in golden skulls. No, as I step out in my golden
Keep debating these fucking vamps. Knowledge is power.
Your fuckers need to recite it. Step up, what happened to your vibe? Limber shit, cunt, and I'm cutting off your mind. Shit, mine now, man. You science in your math, fucking scientist. Kryptonite, go.
Science. Okay. Shut up already. This is science. Two different stories.
I'm thinking, what else can these guys see? I didn't even know they had that ability with a helicopter to do that, but then again, I'm not Werner von Braun here. I'm just an anchor, but I'm telling you, then they had the ability to look at me in my home, or you in your home, or anyone in their home. Now, this was to a desired end, track down a bad guy. Or an alleged
but here's the distinction, Neil. I've never argued against any technology being used when you have
Rand Paul, who filibustered against drones, who we thought was here to help us.
If someone comes out of a liquor store with a weapon and $50 in cash, I don't care if a drone kills him or a policeman kills him. But it's different if they want to come fly over your hot tub or your yard.
Yeah, his hot
tub. They want to do surveillance on everyone and they want to watch your activity.
Science.
Yeah, but what if
Liquid gold. Alrighty, this is science. Two different stories.
Is there an expectation in this Democratic White House that if you are granted access, they expect you to kind of play ball?
That part of it is true in any White House.
Golden Debate Show. Close to the day that I go.
Golden coverage. That doesn't always work out that way, but that's what they try to do. I don't think that
OnlyWhatAbout.com
faces is particularly new or unusual.
Even if it's right in your face.
I actually once had to clean Ari Fleischer's spittle from my face. This was the Bush White House press secretary. I haven't had to do that here. I think what is different is it's more coarse. It's more vulgar. Maybe this is how everybody is these days. But the number of F-bombs being dropped by this White House, scholars are going to look in the National Archives in 20 or 30 years and they're going to be shocked by the language that was coming out of it.
Well, let me say that we have always been clear that our non-lethal assistance to the Syrian opposition includes equipment and training to build the capacity of civilian activists and to link Syrian citizens with the Syrian opposition coalition and local coordinating councils.
Coalition of the killing.
So I can say that much.
Science.
Liquid gold.
Bravo, golden.
This is science.
There are no dangling participles.
So are we training the Syrians directly, or are we training them through Jordanian?
Well, I can just tell you that, again, our non-lethal assistance to the Syrian opposition includes equipment and training to build the capacity of civilian activists. On some of these other issues, I don't have anything for you, but
imagine boarding a train in the center of the city. No racing to an airport and across the terminal, no delays, no sitting on the tarmac, no lost luggage, no taking off your shoes.
Now, of course, those same people fomenting.
That's not funny, man. Innocent people die, man, because of these fucking vampires.
The Boston Marathon bombing did not happen.
Science.
Or if the Boston Marathon bombing did happen, it was done by the government.
Warning.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order, because the global order is changing again.
New movie. Now it's White House down. What was the last one? Oh my! What are they trying to do to us? Brainwashing? Oh no, they wouldn't do that, right?
Officials searching for answers as to why this
You're also getting unconfirmed reports of
to the extent that your question is, what can we do to make a higher profile for this issue?
Peace in a mouth like that. Remember, Golden Energy, I only do this for open minds. Do your own research.
For quite a while.
Don't trust yourselves. Like-a-mind people. Repeat the dance with all. That is Golden. OnlyWhatAbout.com. Golden Debate Show number 10. Thanks for coming out. Love the love.
Polluting industries. as you pointed out, the weather changes that we've seen, the sea level changes, have pushed back the public opinion so that the propaganda campaign is, I think, of less and less effect. And now I think it's our task to try to make sure that climate change lines up right behind immigration and gay rights as an issue where the Republicans see that if they stick with this, they're going to run off the cliff like lemmings.